What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Daniel's Sports Ledger, sports betting tips and picks for sports bettors. Now, today I've got quite a few issues to tackle. I'm going to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles situation, them firing their head coach. I'm going to talk about Jalen Hurts. I'm going to talk about Tua Tagovailoa, as I call him, Tua Trash. I'm going to talk about the national championship game. I've got a lot to tackle. I'm just hoping I won't bore you, and I hope you stay and listen and give any comments that you want to give. Number one, the Philadelphia Eagles situation, I knew he was going to be fired. I knew Pederson was going to be fired. He had to be fired. He had to be fired. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He committed something that very rarely happens. He committed coaching suicide. He committed one act that was fireable on that one act. Steve Sarkisian at USC, they knew he was a drunk. That wasn't the problem. The problem was he showed up to a booster meeting drunk and on pills and was slurring his words and just rambling. And you can't do that. That's where all your money comes from in college football, is the boosters. He did that in front of the most important people to the university, the people that are paying his salary, and he was drunk and all wild and crazy. You can't do that. That one action was fireable enough. Very rarely does a coach do something like that. And this goes back all the way back to what I predicted. It's very well documented. I've shared it lots of times. It's on my Instagram if you want to see it. I said when they drafted Jalen Hurts, I was wrong about one thing. I said he was the second best quarterback in the draft. I was wrong. He's clearly the third best quarterback in the draft. But I was right when I said that Jalen Hurts, that you would have to trade him or Carson Wentz at the end. And I said I believed you would trade Carson Wentz. And that has come to fruition. That has happened. Well, it hasn't happened, but they are going to have to trade Carson Wentz. He can no longer be on this team either. Jalen Hurts, here's the thing about Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is a natural-born leader. I don't know if you've ever met a natural-born leader. There's very, very few natural-born leaders, maybe 1% of the population. Now, there's a lot of, believe me, there is 25% of the population is probably great, phenomenal leaders. But 1% are natural-born leaders. I have to check this real quick. I'm sorry. Let's see. Less than 1%. 1 second. I'm sorry. That was really important. Anyways, 1% of the world is natural-born leaders. Approximately, somewhere around that. Growing up, I had a lot of friends. I was very popular. I knew one kid who I didn't even like the kid. But he was clearly a leader. He was clearly a natural-born leader. Since him, I have never met another natural-born leader in my entire life. And I know very successful people. You guys know my friend Kimball Jones, and I hope he doesn't hear this because I don't want any offense to him. Very, very successful lawyer, probably the best lawyer in Nevada, probably one of the best lawyers literally in the U.S. At his craft, at his specific, what he does as a lawyer. Phenomenal. As you know, he got the biggest settlement, jury settlement last year in Nevada, $13.4 million. Off the chains, brilliant. He's an absolute brilliant person if you've ever met Kimball Jones. But the thing about it is, he's not a natural-born leader. He's a phenomenal leader, but he's not a natural-born leader. There are very, very few natural-born leaders in this world. I've met one in my whole life, and I have been everywhere, and I have met hundreds of thousands of people, literally, no joke. Jalen Hurts is a natural-born leader. So here's why, and it goes back to this too. This is why I think Carson Wentz had such a bad season. It wasn't just that Jalen Hurts was better than him. I think if you've ever met a real leader, a natural born leader, you could be the leader at your position. And they hire some guy, and he's a natural leader, and he walks in, and it's his first day on the job, and you start wanting to do what he tells you, and you're like, wait a minute, I'm the manager here. I have to do when I have 20 years of experience. Why would I follow this guy? What am I thinking? But when they walk into the room, they're instantly the leader of the room. It's it's a weird phenomenon, but you know it when you see it. And I think when Jalen Hurts first walked into that room and Carson Wentz was there, I think Carson Wentz goes, "Oh, this is our quarterback. Wait a minute. No, I'm the quarterback." I think it unnerved him to meet someone like that. And the entire year, he was trying to prove that he was a leader and be a better leader and do all these things. But you just can't be a better leader than someone who's naturally a leader. Jalen Hurts doesn't think about being a leader. He just is one. He doesn't read any books about leadership. He didn't do anything like that. He didn't learn this is how you talk to people or this is what you do in this situation. No, he's just a leader. He's just born with it. And it's just something. It's really unnerving. And honestly, I think that's why I didn't really like that kid growing up very much because he was intimidating. I mean, you're just like, I don't like this kid, but I feel like I have to follow him or do what he's telling me to do or whatever. It's really strange. And so when he comes in, and then he's better than Carson Wentz. So Carson Wentz plays bad, plays terrible. Finally, Jalen Hurts gets into the game, and he's phenomenal. Yes, he had some bad things, but you notice with most quarterbacks, they try to coddle them, right? They try to say, "Oh, let's throw you in, some, like Tua Trash, for example." They're coddling the crap out of him, right? They're saying, "Don't throw the pick and throw this and do this," and I think part of that is because you have to reel in Ryan Fitzpatrick, and they've been used to reeling him in, and now Tua comes, and they're like, "Okay, well, let's do the same things we're doing with Fitzpatrick. Let's make sure Tua doesn't throw too many interceptions, and let's make this easy for him and that easy for him." And you can see they don't totally trust Tua. It's just not there. You can see it in the play calling. It's obvious to the naked eye. That wasn't the case with Jalen Hurts. When they put him in there, they instantly trusted him with the entire playbook, right? Instantly. What was his very first throw? Do you remember his very first throw? I do, because I watched it. It was a 38-yard pass, I believe, and it was 25, 30 yards. And actually, it was the entire way in the air because the guy caught it on the sideline and fell out of bounds. So it was 38 yards in the air. It was to Jalen Reagor. And that was his first pass. It wasn't a little dink and dunk or a handoff or anything like that. That was his first play. It was just, here you go. We trust you. That's totally different than what they've done with Tua. Tua's had, I think I don't even think he's had a 30-yard play that was in the air. He's had some that was short and the guy ran for 38 yards or something, but I don't know that he even had one that was 30 yards in the air, maybe one all season. Jalen Hurts' first play, not even a handoff. It was 38 yards in the air, sideline, perfect drop. Guy was catching it, getting tackled, perfect pass. So he's a leader. Then he's better than you. And now we get to the end of the season, right? Jalen Hurts has had some ups and downs. He's thrown some interceptions. Obviously, that's going to happen with a new guy, not used to the speed. That's literally being thrown into the fire, not coddled or anything like that. Troy Aikman was thrown into the fire. He wasn't coddled. Peyton Manning wasn't coddled. He was thrown into the fire. He threw, 28, 27 interceptions or something his first year. Peyton Manning, we all know what he became. But Jalen Hurts in every game had been like over 400 total yards rushing and passing. And obviously, some of those had to be running because the offensive line was so terrible. So, so he comes in, He's better. He's doing phenomenal things for a rookie that's being thrown into the fire. You get to the end. It's the last game of the season. Okay, this is 3 games in. I believe this is his. The last game was his third, I believe, third or fourth game into the season, right? And yes, they're not playing for anything. Yes, they can get the 9th pick in the draft instead of the 6th or whatever. But he's in the game. It's close at the end. Both touchdowns were 100% because he ran the ball and took it into the end zone himself because the offensive line was doing him no favors. He had a chance to come back to win that game. And then to solidify himself, if he comes back and wins that game, there is no question. There is no question in anyone's mind that he's the starter going forward, that Wentz is off the team. There's no question in anyone's mind. So then the coach decides he's going to treat the game like a preseason game, put in his backup. He hadn't told, I think maybe he told a couple players. I don't know. I know he told some of the media members, but Jalen didn't know about it. The guy hadn't practiced all week. So, I mean, it would be obvious if they'd gotten him some reps or something that, maybe we'll put this guy in this week. But he hadn't done that. So most of the people were in the dark. Maybe it came from ownership, but I don't think so because they would have fired him if it did. And so Jalen Hurts, they take Jalen Hurts out and put in, I don't know, whoever that idiot was. And he does terrible. They lose the game. But what's so important about that was not the offensive players. The defensive players wanted to fight the head coach for taking Jalen Hurts out. You got to understand, you're playing a football game where people break their legs, they get brain damage, they break arms, all kinds of things, okay? They're putting their I'm talking about that right now. Exactly. I'm talking about the last straw for Pederson. Exactly. And so you have all these problems. The team wants to fight him for taking Jalen Hurts out. And as I said, Jalen Hurts, as I was talking before, in case you missed it, is a natural leader. And so he's sitting there on the bench going, like, I've never seen anything like this in my life. What is going on? And the players are looking at Jalen Hurts going, that's their leader. He has entrenched himself. If you're trying to fight the head coach because they pulled out the guy, he's your leader. And everyone's looking at their leader and going, he doesn't believe in the coach? He doesn't understand this decision? What is going on? And so he literally committed coaching suicide. By taking him out, you had no choice because the team had fully bought into Jalen Hurts 100%. And now you're taking away a chance for him to come back, win the game, solidify himself as the starter. You're taking that away from him. And now all the players are questioning you. So if you have the entire team questioning the head coach, you can no longer be the head coach. They won't follow you. Grown men won't follow you. They will follow a leader. Jalen Hurts is a leader. You took that away from him, and you alienated the entire team. Team wanted to fight you. They didn't understand what was going on. It was a mess. And very few times, like I said earlier, very few times does a coach make one decision that completely gets him fired, like Steve Sarkisian did. Yeah, well, see, I just mentioned that too, MSK. You're right. It could have also been management, but if it was management, then it was really crappy of them to fire him. Because if it's their decision because they want the 6th pick in the draft instead of the 9th pick in the draft, and their decision costs the entire, and they did that. First of all, a leader would have told the players, listen, if it gets down to this, chance, whatever, we're going to throw the game. Tell the players that, practice the backup quarterback or something, let people know. Obviously, they probably wouldn't ever do that, but the thing is, if it's the management that told him to do that, and when they asked him, he said it was 100% my decision, so I guess we'll find out. Because if he's taking everything upon himself and going with management and saying, yes, it was 100% my fault, and then management fires you, I think now that he's been fired, I think he's going to come out and say, well, management really made me, and I thought they were going to keep me. But it's great questions too. But yeah, so I don't, you know, in that case, and the problem is, even if it was management's decision and he loses the team, management still has to fire him. I mean, you still can't be the coach if you've lost the team. I'm sorry, you just can't. So the coach has to go. Obviously, the players believe in Hurts. They don't believe in Wentz anymore. Wentz has to go. I know it's a big contract. I know it's going to be hard to do. I know you'd like to keep him as a backup because, I mean, heck, that'd be an amazing backup, Carson Wentz. But you can't. You can't. You have to get rid of the coach. You have to get rid of Wentz. You've got to find the right coach to come in there, fix the culture, get behind Jalen Hurts, get Jalen Hurts to sell his culture to the rest of the team, get the train back on the track, and keep going forward. That's what they have to do. That seems to be, they've done the first part. They fired the coach. So that seems to be what they're going to do. I would hope that's what they're going to do. I would hope the coach that comes in can see this clearly and say, okay, the first thing I'm going to do is get Hurts on my side. I'm going to get him to buy into my culture. That's the first thing I'm going to do. Then I will work on the other players because I know Hurts will take my message and the players will follow him. Just like the same thing with Tom Brady. If Tom Brady wanted to blow that thing up at any moment, he could have, and people would have stopped following Belichick. Same thing with Jalen Hurts. Tom Brady bought in 100%. Belichick got Brady on his side, and the rest is history. Of course, that's a little bit different situation, but kind of not in a way because Brady was a backup that took the starter's job, and so what happened when he took the job? Belichick, what did he do? Did he say no? This has been our guy and he's great, and I'm going to stick with him? No, he embraced Tom Brady. He got Brady on his side, and he used Brady to put his message all the way down the line. So in a way, this is actually a lot the same, except the head coach, Pederson, handled it differently. And it's what a mess. And it all started with them drafting Jalen Hurts. Like I said, at the very beginning, Jalen Hurts is not a backup. He's not a backup. He's a starter. And he's a leader. He's a natural leader. There's very few natural leaders in this world. I know of one that I've met. And I know lots and lots and lots of people. So I've mostly knocked that into a dead horse. I'll probably come up with other thoughts later. Maybe I'll add them into some of these other podcasts. Maybe I won't. I don't know. Talk about the Dolphins for a second. Obviously, the Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson wants to go to Miami. I don't think Dolphins would be being mentioned right now if the Dolphins didn't also have interest, which means bye Tua. Adios, my guy. It's been fun. Well, I don't know about that, but I mean, you got to play and you got to have a little fun. You got a little NFL experience. It was cute. It was cool to a time. It was a nice little thing for, I don't know, 10 minutes or something. I don't know, a few games, 7, 8 games. Cool. Neat. All right. You did it. Tua trash. Keep calling him that. He's going to be out of the league in a few years or career backup, one of the two. I've said it from the beginning. I'm sticking to it. And if I ever become wrong, I will admit to it. But I'm not wrong now. or yet, and I'm not going to be wrong. And I'm not wrong about Hurts, and I haven't been. And so far, I've been nothing but proven correct with Hurts. And so there you have it. You can call me a phony or whatever you want to call me, but I don't see any of your predictions coming true. So, anyways, and mine are documented. So, Dolphins, Tua, I don't know. See what happens. I kind of still think. I don't know. I don't see Watson being traded, and I do see Tua being the starting quarterback next year. I don't know for how long. Maybe the entire season because they don't have anyone better. But that will be the last year for Tua, and then they'll draft someone or whatever. Or they'll try to trade for someone during the season or something. I don't know. But I kind of do think Tua will be the Dolphins starter at the beginning of the year. That doesn't mean I think he's good. It just means I think the Dolphins are stupid. Although that coach is phenomenal. He has done phenomenal things with that team so far. Because the Dolphins, I know you think they have a lot of talent, and Howard is amazing. One of the two best corners in the league, him or Trey White. And but they don't have a lot of talent. I know you think that they do, and I know you think they have a great defense. We'll see what happens next year. That's all I have to say. They have a lot of rebuilding to do. But they do play kind of like the Niners, and the Niners really enhance their talent. And Miami's really enhancing what they have there with their tight ends, and you see a lot of teams are doing that now. They get the big tight end, they're throwing it to him, they're running the ball, they're playing good defense, and it's translating into wins. Even if there's not a lot of talent there, it seems to work. It's kind of interesting how that's been going on, but yeah. So that's what I think. I don't think there's any way Watson gets traded, Deshaun Watson, because if as a GM, why would you take that job unless the job was for Watson? Because you have literally no one else on that team that's any good. Don't tell me JJ Watt's good, okay? He's past his prime. He's not good anymore. Hey, what's up, Brian? Hey, it's good to see you, my guy. Looking forward to our shows this week. Just talking, I was talking about the Eagles and stuff earlier. Now I'm talking the Dolphins and Texans. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the national championship. I haven't done, obviously, I can't really say who I like because I'm selling the pick. It's $50 if you guys want it. So I can't really tell you guys who I like, but I definitely like one team over the other. We'll see what happens in this Ohio State-Alabama game. I don't know if you know who you like, Ryan. I'll put it on the screen, but I know a lot of people are going with Ohio State. And that Sermon, man, he's pretty good. They got a good defense. It should be a good game. We'll see what happens in this game. Let's see. So I talked about Jalen Hurts. I talked about the Eagles situation. I know I'm forgetting to talk about something that I was telling you guys I was going to talk about. The Dolphins, Texans, national championship. I mean, I guess going back to the Texans, I don't see how you trade them. I don't see why you would take that job unless you're going to keep him. There's no other reason. Ohio State plus the points, Ryan says. So, hey, Ryan, you were right about those brownies and Washington. I mean, man, you had that Washington peg too that they would cover that. So Ohio State just might be the pick. Ohio State plus the points. I know a lot of people like that. Maybe I do too. I don't, maybe I like Alabama. I don't know. But it's going to be a fun game. It's definitely going to be a fun game. But yeah, I mean, yeah, my friend, I was talking to Kimball the other day. A lot of you guys know Kimball. I have him on sometimes, and he disagreed with me. He thought you'd take that Texans job just for the money, or for, you know, I don't know, just for the money, I guess. He said he would trade Watson, which is kind of weird to me because he really loves Watson a lot more than I do, Deshaun Watson, and I don't know. I can't see myself trading a quarterback. Quarterback's the hardest thing to find in the NFL. Why would you ever trade him if you have one? I don't. What he needs to do, the GM of the Texans, is he needs to drive over. He should have already done this. This is the one thing that leads me to believe maybe he will get traded, because the second you find out Deshaun Watson wants to be traded, you just get in your car, you drive to his house. If the gate operator doesn't let you in, you jump over the gate. If Deshaun Watson doesn't let you in, you break his window, you get in front of him, and you get Deshaun Watson on your side. That's what you do if you're the GM. That's the only thing you can do. Oh no, you're better than me. But that's what I feel. I feel like that's the one reason why maybe he does get traded, because or maybe he has already talked to Watson behind the scenes, or maybe he can't convince Watson to get on his side. I don't know. That's a messy situation. You know, if I'm the owner, I don't know. Maybe you just. I'm a firm believer that when something's bad, you cut it out immediately, right? Like mistletoe. Mistletoe ruins trees. What you have to do with mistletoe, if your tree gets mistletoe, you got to cut it out immediately. You don't let it grow. You don't let it look pretty. You don't do anything, because it will kill the tree. You made the wrong decision. Watson doesn't want the guy. The guy obviously is not going over to Watson's house to get him on his side. So he's probably not the right guy. He's probably willing to trade him. Okay, he's mistletoe in your tree. You made the wrong decision. Fire him. Belichick, what did he do? He took the Jets job for one day, quit, and went to the Patriots, right? He was smart enough to go, wait a minute, no, I'm going to cut this out immediately and go to a different team. You made a bad decision. You did the wrong thing. Fire him, move on, get the GM that Watson wants, or let him have more say, or whatever. Get a different GM. Maybe do that, right? You're the owner of the team. It's your team. You don't have to live with the bad decision that you made. You can just cut it out. No one's going to make fun of you. Nobody cares. People will probably say, oh, wow, we have an owner that's even going to cut a bad GM. Players like to see that. They like to see in Washington that they cut that quarterback over in Washington, right? Because they like to see bad players, dumb people get cut off the team. They like to have a team of grown men, of talented players. The best players play. It should be the same thing with the GM, and that should start from the ownership. Should say, listen, I'm no different than the coach. I made a bad decision. I'm cutting it right out. We're moving on to something better. Do that. Do something. Either the GM has to get Watson on his side, or the owner needs to fire that GM immediately. Cut it out. Move on. You still got time. Just fix it. Belichick did it. A lot of smart people do that. The second you realize you've made a bad decision in your life, cut that thing out, man. Don't live with it. Get it out of there. Same thing with a girlfriend or a boyfriend or something. The first time he hits you, get rid of the thug, right? Just get rid of him. It's over. Okay? Don't stick around and try to say you love him and do all these other things. No, just, okay, you're gone, buddy. See ya. Peace. You're not worth my time. That's what you have to do in life. If you want to be successful at anything in life, you make a bad mistake, cut it out immediately. And trust me, I've made a lot of bad mistakes. And hey, even I need to take my own advice sometimes. But when you hear someone give you that advice, you should definitely take it. So honestly, that's what the owner needs. Either the GM needs to get Watson on his side, or the owner needs to fire the bad GM, get a new one in there, and move on. I still feel like I was going to talk about something else today, but I guess not. I think maybe that was it. I should have written it down, everything I was going to talk about. But you know what? I got Ryan Flowers here. I think he's still watching. And he says he's trying to be like me growing up, but I'm trying to be like him because he's a much better podcaster than I am. And he's going to be on my show on Thursday. I'm going to be on his show on Wednesday. If you don't know who Ryan Flowers is, he does a podcast for Clutch Sports Talk podcast. Look him up, follow him. He's amazing, and I will be on his show. He'll be on mine. And I'm pretty much just going to end with that. Thank you guys for listening to my rambling. I appreciate it. I had to get this off of my chest. I knew it was happening, so thank you guys so much for tuning in. And as always, guys, let's make some money. Let's have some fun doing it.